growing up in Australia. Okay. I lived in foster homes and I was growing up in Australia, Mark. And I always had this fantasy of driving my own BMW. I saw when you manifested your BMW, and it just motivated me. And I said, if he can do it, I can. I always had this vision of driving my own BMW. I had a vision of having my own apartment, living on a beach house, having multiple businesses. But he said, Mark, it just never materialized. It just kept, it made me feel a little good, but I always felt like I was lacking something. And then he saw a video kind of explaining what I was saying about making things normal and making it realistic. And he says, once I started to understand that the universe is actually inside of me, and everything that I'm seeing and projecting was an expectation, but I would create a gap from my expectation. I was living in a fantasy. And then when you mentioned that you have to make things normal to manifest, it clicked. So what I started to do, I started to make these things relatable to me as if they were supposed to happen. And now he's 23 years old. He's making 6 figures. He works for the mining companies. What he does, he travels to these mining companies and he's like, or orchestrates them. They fly him out to these mining companies, copper, gold, nickel. So this guy's in there examining the golds and making sure they're pure. Now he has a business in Dubai. 23 years old. Now he even started to do the lottery. It's like, man, Mark, so since all this happened, I could do the lottery. He said, I started doing the lottery and I started winning. What's the difference? He shrunk the gap. He moved from fantasy to what? Relatable. It's your consciousness. It's your dreams, man. It's nobody else's. It's in you. It's not in Mark. It's not in Philip. It was put into you. But you want to know the biggest eye opener? As a matter of fact, I talked to him. I talked to him last night because he wanted a quick call, and I talked to him last night. And I'm going to tell you so you can know too. Maybe you don't know this, but he's a chosen one, just like all of you. If you're watching this video right now, that's why I tell you to celebrate, because your life is going to change like his life has changed. So whatever you want. And here's the biggest thing I told him that he kind of knew. So he asked me a question last night. He said to me, he said, Mark, one thing I don't understand. He said this to me. He said, growing up in a foster home, I was supposed to be a statistic. I was supposed to be on drugs. I was supposed to be a failure. I was going through these parents that were emotionally abusive. But he said, I just kept winning. There was this desire inside of me just to do it. Mark, can you explain why things happened that way? Why I turned out the way I was? Mark, can you explain to me why when I was 6 years old, I always questioned everything. I always thought about like, man, how the world works, how the life works. This can't be it. I have news for you. Every single one of you that's watching this video right now, you have been in the same position since you were a kid. There's no one watching this video right now that has never questioned what the heck is going on. Why am I even here? Why does this work like this? You cannot watch this video if you haven't done that. This video won't find you. So all of you have already met that criteria. Capiche? All right. Now here's the next one. So the question is, Mark, can you explain what's going on? And I said, certainly I can, young man. Let me explain to you what's happening here and why you are where you're at and what's going on. And I said to him, you are like a puppet. He said, what do you mean I'm a puppet? I mean, you're a good puppet. I said, you see your physical body here, my friend? There's a string on top of you. It's like a cosmic string. It's invisible. You can't see the string. I like to call it cosmic string. You know puppets? They go like this. So you're a puppet, right? Or you call yourself an avatar. But there's a string. And the string, it goes way, way, way out, but it goes into another dimension. But there is someone controlling the string. I said, that is the real you. So you see what happened? You live in a replay universe. I told him he lives in a replay universe, just like I tell all of you, you live in a replay universe. He says, can you explain the concept of a replay universe to me? I hear you talk about it, but what exactly does it mean? A replay universe basically means that it's a replay. Like what you're experiencing right now is not live. It's replay. The live has already ended. Just like this live, when this live ends, you're going to watch a replay of it. It's a replay. So what is the replay, Mark? The replay is that when you got here, my friend, you chose the environment that was suitable to get you to where you want to go. So the reason you can't lose and you kept winning was because when your puppet master, your higher self, made you, he put something inside of your puppet. He put something inside of your puppet. What did he put inside of me? He said he put inside what's called your burning desire. So what? He says, you told me that you always had this burning, this feeling that you were meant to be something successful that never went away, even though your foster homes and all that stuff. It never died. It never dimmed. He says, man, you're right. I said, each chosen one, just like all of you, each chosen one, you have two, that's why I put it to you. You have two cheat codes to the game that your higher self gives you, okay? I don't know if you know this, so pay attention to this one. You have two cheat codes.